Hello, welcome to another video class. Today we are looking at punctuation marks. This is a continuation of what we looked at earlier on. That's a follow-up to full stop and question mark, which we've looked at previously. Today our focus is going to be on comma, but before then, we are going to review full stop and question mark. From the last clip, we looked at the full stop and we identified the full stop by saying that it is a dot and it is placed, it is used to end a sentence, or we place it at the end of sentences. Let's look at examples just to refresh our mind. Ken is my friend. Ken is my friend, and here is a full stop. Let's look at the question mark. The question mark is used at the end of a question. In other words, once you ask a question, it becomes necessary that you place a question mark right in front. And we're going to look at an example right away. Yes. Is Michael your brother? Here is a question mark. Now we are looking at the comma, which is our main focus from this class. A comma is a punctuation mark used within a sentence. Let's take note of that. It is a punctuation mark used within a sentence. Remember that the full stop and the question mark, they are both placed at the end of a sentence. But in the case of the punctuation, in case of the comma, it is within the sentence. In other words, it is not placed at the end of the sentence. Ouch. Let's look at something else about the comma. A comma is used to tell the reader when or where to pause. Now, when we are reading, we don't just read on and on and on without pause. We have to pause when we read. So in order for us to indicate when there should be a pause or when the reader should pause, we need to indicate that with a comma. So the comma is just more or less like the full stop, but permit me to say that it does half the job of the full stop. So it's not an entire stop, but a little bit of stop before you continue reading on. A comma is used to separate words or names or numbers. So we are going to look at some examples to further understand what the comma is used for or how it is used. Now let's look at this. I saw oranges, bananas, and apples on the table. Remember, we said that the comma is used to separate words, names, or even numbers. So oranges, bananas, and apples are names of fruits. So you can see how the comma is introduced. If these commas were not placed, it would mean that you will just read on, and that will read like I saw oranges, bananas, and apples on the table. But with the comma, it shows that when you're reading, you have to pause. I saw oranges, bananas, and apples on the table. You have your full stop. That's the end of the sentence. Now let's look at another example. Mary, Tama, Ada, and Idafi are my classmates. Here you see how the comma works again. It helps you to pause rather than just reading on and on without a pause. If these commas weren't placed, you will read Mary, Tama, Ada, and Idafi are my classmates. But because these commas are placed, it commands the reader to pause. You would not ignore a comma when you see one. So your sentence will read Mary, Tama, Ada, and Idafi are my classmates. Let's look at one more example. She came with a red dress, a pair of shoes, and a black bag. She came with a red dress, a pair of shoes, and a black bag. Here we have group of words. A red dress, that's an item. A pair of shoes, that's another one. And a bag. So the comma helped us to separate these things and at the same time help the reader to pause when reading. So thanks. This will be the end of the class. Thanks for watching and bye for now.